Hello, this is Bill Webb, aka Billy Indiana. I recently received a big box Kickstarter with a lot of expansions and expansions even to an older game. And today I'm going to unbox for you this massive beast, Role Player Adventures. So if you want to see what comes in this giant box, stick around. All right, so with this Kickstarter, I also backed the Role Player Big Box Fiends and Familiars expansion, and I got gold, metal coins, and I got some extra cards for Role Player. But I also got this Nephrys's Judgment expansion for the Role Player Adventure. So I'm going to open up this one first because it's a smaller box, and then we'll go through that big beast. So if you want to, I'll put timestamps down below so you can jump to the other one if you're not interested in seeing this. But this is the expansion, or one of the expansions that's available. I think the only one currently. So we got a backstory alignment pad here. Oops, top one's coming off there. We've got some little punch outs here with some eyeballs on the top of it. Looks like a book. So nice and thick cardboard there, but looks like an eyeball on the cover of a book perhaps. Yeah, we'll see what those are for. I've got some baggies, and we've got some cubes for tracking. And we've got, okay, I won't reveal this as stop. This is a rare deck, so I know there's a lot of narrative and storytelling, so I'm not going to show you this, but we've got numbered cards, and then, yeah, so the deck of cards here, and then, wow, this is a thick book. Backstory Codex, just so you get a sense of how thick this book is. On the back, we can see contents over 300 pages. Wow. Cool art in the back cover. And just kind of flip through this. I'm not gonna, oh, I like the fact that there's some art mixed in here. Can hopefully get a little glimpse of that as I flip through the pages. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to spend much time on any page, but you can see some of the cool art, which is nice, very nice in this. And this is the expansion. This isn't even the base game. But this looks like it's going to be a lot of story narrative for an expansion. And so one thing about this game that I'm pretty excited about is Role Player is one of my favorite games. And so this is going to give me a chance to either take some characters that are built already for me in the base game or this expansion, and then use those to go about some different adventures. Or I can create a player in Role Player, the original game, and then add those into, or port those into this system, and have the created characters that I come up with actually go through the adventures. And then we've got these nice dual layered boards here. I'll show that. Looks like these are just a piece of cardboard there. The 4 dual layered boards, and I think these must slide right in. I need 2 hands, I think, to do this. All right, there we go. And then you can write out the personal traits, adventures, locations, and then I'm not sure if you'd really need to write on this part, maybe. In the alignment in the original Role Player, just moving a cube around, so we'll see. I'm assuming that's maybe what these cubes here are for, but until I learn more about this game, I'm not 100% sure. So that is Nephrys's Judgment expansion for Role Player Adventure. All right, and now let's dig into the base game. Clear off a few things here. And again, this is massive. I raised the camera up, so hopefully we can get it under there. But just huge box. And again, just so you can get kind of a sense of the size of this box. Massive. We got some nice art on the side there. And then art on that side too. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see much of the art on the ends. It's going to be so close to the camera. But you can maybe see a little bit of that art. And then there's the other end. Ages 14 and up, 1 to 4 players, 90 to 150 minutes. On the back it says, after 1,000 years of peace, Draggle armies raided from the north, prompting you and every other loyal citizen of Nalos to sign up as soldiers of the King's Guard. The armies of Nalos fought long and hard against the north's monstrous generals and their minions, finally stemming the tide of the Draggle invasion. But new threats have arisen that jeopardize all of Eulos. A mysterious cult prepares for the return of an ancient god. The long-abandoned gate of Brizur Wall, a portal between planes, rumbles with new life. Strange rifts appear in the sky, unleashing bizarre creatures into your world. Drago invaders seek to exploit this instability to conquer Nalos. Role-Player Adventures is a cooperative storytelling board game for 1 to 4 players set in the world of Eulos. The players portray a party of characters who will face challenges and make decisions that affect the unfolding story. We've got a long list of components here, and then a quick picture of the game. I will try to be careful not to show any spoilers. And then I also did get this play mat here that I think is supposed to help with this game. So we'll see how it all fits together. We've got locations, obstacles, attack, monsters, 3 and 4 or 5 player markets over here. So we'll see. All right, let's open it up and see what's in this box. It is really heavy too. All right, we've got just, looks like cardboard spacer. Doesn't appear to be anything in that. All right, and then we've got, I think probably like we saw in Nephros's Judgment, looks like these are going to slide into some boards here to show character, player, race, class, health. So there's that. We've got the storybook, Adventure 1, Battle at Blacklake, by James Ryan. And then there's a bunch of storybooks. So we can take a look at those in a few minutes here and see what's inside. Then we've got, these are the player boards. And like I said, it looks like those are going to slide in here. We can crack off the plastic here and check that out. I need to use the knife here to get that opened up. Yeah, there we go. These are nice, heavy-duty, thick player boards. So one of these was already kind of coming off here. So let's see if we can get that slid in here. This is a dexterity challenge right here. Trying to get this slid in. All right, there we go. So you can see how it fits into the board there. I'm wondering if maybe the retail version just comes with the papers, because the papers have all the words on it that you could just fill in on the paper, but then when you slide it in, all that's covered up, so you can just write on there. So it'd be interesting to see how that comes together as I learn more about this game. So 4 player boards here. Nice big thick ones, like I said. And then we've got a bag, I think, for the dice. Should be selecting some dice intentionally and some dice randomly, I think. So we got that. It's a nice cloth bag. We've got our skill book. And so I have watched a couple videos, and I know you're trying to find different patterns. So we've got the thiefcraft skill, stealth skill. So depending on what adventures you go on and what kind of things you face, you might need to do a resistance skill or a persuasion skill, and it's going to require different combinations of both dice color and dice numbers. Observation skill, a might, there's the frog character, introspection, interpretation, endurance, deception, concealment, charm. So I don't think that's too much of a spoiler, just showing you the skill book pages, what you might be doing in different skills. So I can have just another cardboard corner here. And then we've got a storage container here. It looks like we've got some clear cubes. I think that's for tracking progress. We've got some smaller clear cubes. Oh, fatigue, I think, actually, from the video I watched. These are bigger and these are smaller, so I think that's fatigue cubes. And then we've got some XP cubes, like in the regular role-player game. And then we've got some little circle tiles. Looks like I'm not sure what those are exactly. And some colored wooden cubes. So the colored wooden cubes remind me of silica pack. Remind me of like the attributes trackers, but there's just 3 green and 3 black. So and then there's also this, looks like camping and not camping thing here. Just blank on that side, but nice thick wooden chunky pieces. We got that. And then, yeah, like I said, a nice cover for that. Put that over here. Then we got another nice container down here. Again, I'm not sure what this will look like in retail versus the Kickstarter version, but we've got our adventure cards here, modifier cards, it says. And then we've got potentially the people we might be having to do combat against in this big pack. I can open this one up, I think, and show that. We'll see kind of at least a little bit of it. Like I said, I don't want to do any spoilers here, but I think just seeing who some of the characters are. I don't want to show all of them, but maybe a few, so you can get a flavor of kind of things you might have to do combat in this game. So there's bandits, basilisk, a bat, bugbear, Captain Giselle, Captain Camon, construct, Crete, cultist, dragonkin, Elsifor, frogkin. All right, so I've gone through a handful. There is a lot, and I don't want to take the time to go through every one of those. It looks like also you've got some player aids here at the bottom of this stack. So we'll move those to the top, and those look like they'll stack and store nicely there. And then we've got some multicolored dice, like in the Fiends and Familiars expansion. And then we've got our traditional dice here of all the different colors. And it looks like, again, they fit all nicely there in this container. So, yeah, running out of space here on the table. All right. And then what do we have here? Secret. Open only when instructed by a storybook. Okay, well, I definitely want to open that then. And then we've got the Tome of Encounters, it looks like. That first word's a little hard to read. Gonna have to cut this one open too. I think this plastic looks pretty tight. Just make sure we don't cut the paper at all. We'll see what this Tome of Encounters entails here. Again, I don't want to show too much. I don't want to give away what the encounters might be. But I think this is going to have, from what the looks of it, this is going to have a lot of replayability. So Tome of Encounters. So we've got Adventure at Blacklake. That was the first book, and so I guess this is going to give us the information. Then we've got here Taron's Trophy, and so it looks like the different encounters are listed here along the edges. And again, you can see some nice artwork in here. We won't spoil any details by showing anything for long, but pretty cool artwork along the way. So this is the different encounters we might face, I guess. So I think that's good for that book. And then we've got some punch board here. Looks like some coins. I don't know if those are exactly the same as Role Player or not. I do have metal coins for Role Player, so we'll see. And then some, I think these are trackers for fatigue. Maybe if you have a bunch, you have to have a bunch of singles, you can use these maybe. We'll see. These look like compass roses here and some exclamation and a little person. So we'll see what all those are for. Here's the back side. Looks pretty much the same. Yeah, just single point coins here on this side. And then, wow, here we've got a big piece of paper where we're tracking just a pad of them, it looks like. So I might laminate a few of these and use those to track, so we can use them over and over and use some whiteboard markers. Got a bunch of whiteboard markers on handy. All right, then we got a couple more things down here below. Okay, it looks like I can't really show too much here because stop. This is the title deck. But you can see the nice, we've got this Role Player Adventures cover, pretty thick plastic, but all these say stop. So I'm not going to go into what's in those decks and show that at all. And then one more. Okay, here's our, I think this is the Kickstarter version of the token that you use to show where you're at on the maps. And so instead of, I think on the original prototypes that I saw, it was like a red wooden meeple sort of figure, but this is a nice plastic stand, little mini. We've got Templar cards, mini cards here. And then what do we have here? Weapons. Looks like character cards that we could choose from. Shadow Drake. So these are familiars, it looks like. Oh yeah, down here in the bottom, it says we've got armor, scroll, skill, trait, weapon. So I'm going to be sorting those cards out, and then portraits. So yeah, I'll be sorting these out and figuring out where everything goes. But again, I'm a little hesitant to show too much close up with not knowing what might be a spoiler. I have a feeling these portraits are probably okay, so you can see who some of the characters are that you might be using. And again, you can actually play Role Player, create a character there by rolling the dice and actually playing that game with or without the Monsters and Minions expansion, and then import that player. And I'm not sure exactly how that works. I'll have to go through the rules to see. I don't think it's a direct port, like everything exactly comes in, but there is a way to do it. So we've got the elf, halfling, human, orc, dwarf, dragonkin, Wrathborn, Frogkin, Minotaur, Construct, Dark Elf, Gnome, Bastia, Sheki, Keika, Saurion, Vargar, and these look like just the same characters from Roleplayer. And then Scalia Typefoot. So this looks interesting. We've got maybe some... Oh no, this has information on the back. So this gives you Scalia... Okay, so this is just the general portraits of who the different characters you could choose from. And then this is the specific characters. Scalia Typefoot, Firefoot, sorry, a Dragonkin monk, and then here are the stats for that one. Okay, and then we've got, yeah, these are hard to read, this font. This is Valzir Tolfkin. I'm not going to try to read these names, but interesting characters here. You can see different kinds of humans and gnomes and elves and dragonkin and frogkin. So the actual individual personalities coming through. Pretty cool. There's a frogkin. You got humans, and I forget what all these different characters or these different creatures are called. So this is a Vargar, and this is a Bastia. Yeah, really cool art. I've always really enjoyed the art of cartographers and role player, and now this role player adventure. So this looks like it's going to be fun to dig into. Like I said, I've watched a couple videos just to get a flavor of the gameplay, and it reminds me of things like Sleeping Gods, but incorporating some dice rolling and manipulation with the cards. Should I go through some of these? Yeah, you can always not watch if you're afraid of spoilers here. So I'm going to go through the weapons deck here. So if you don't want to see what's included here, I think this should be pretty benign. We won't go through necessarily every card, but you can see a long sword, blessed mace, jeweled dagger, long bow, tower shield. And so here it looks like you can raise or lower blue dice. Here it looks like it says increase a blue die or green die by 1 or 2. Jeweled dagger looks like you can raise or lower black or purple dice. Decrease a red or white die by 1 or 2. And increase or decrease green die. Strike 2, spend 2 stamina from the con to return this to your hand. So Constitution. Ancient spear, quarterstaff, heavy crossbow, ancient tome, harpoon, short sword, war lance, glaive, spiked shield, ancestral blade, scabbard, steel net, sling, spell book, backpack, spike club. So I won't go through all the rest. It's nearly half of the weapons. Let's see, what else do we have in here? We've got traits. I think that would be traits and skills, it looks like here. I think that would probably be fairly safe to show. So again, if you don't want to see, jump ahead to the end or stop now. Fair warning. These are, I always hate risking tearing up these cards, getting them out of here. That one didn't come apart very easily. All right, so on the back we can see there's skills with the red base and then scrolls. So skills and scrolls here. Domesticate, transmute, restore, exile, brimstone, revive, gather power. And it looks like, again, we're being able to manipulate what our dice say here. So those are the scrolls, just a handful of them. Put those in the scroll section here. And then these are the skills: concentrate, search, negotiate, pickpocket, acrobatics, open lock. So here's one that looks like we can change a 3 into either a 1 or a 6. Climbing. So yeah, these are different skills. Where did the skills go? There's the skills group here. So yeah, it'll be fun to get these all sleeved and organized. And then these, I think, are the different traits and familiars, it looks like. So again, I think we can safely look through these if you want to get a glimpse at some of the art here, some of the contents. That one opened a bit easier. All right, so we've got some familiars. That's part of the deck, and then a bunch of traits. So let's take a look at the familiars first. We've got Shadow Drake, Screech Owl. So I guess these are people that are going to help us. Horned Viper, Draggle Wolf, Long-tailed Weasel. Now we got some multicolored dice use maybe here. Blood Badger, Flame Imp, Nalos Leopard, Silver Warthog, Cursed Raven, Ancient Tortoise, Scorched Phoenix, Ice Bear, Tempest Fox, and the Jackalope. I think that's maybe my favorite creature so far. And not sure where the familiars are going to go here. For now, we'll just put that here where it says armor. And then with these traits, courageous, famous, envious, dedicated, trustworthy, malicious, humble, fearless, valiant, selfish, ambitious, confident, chopping that wood in half, that's cool. So those are some traits, and see, they all go right here. So have to do, like I said, some sleeving and some sorting and putting these back in. It looks like they are built to hold sleeved cards because there's lots of space here. And so there you have it. That is what comes inside of this Role Player Adventures massive Kickstarter edition. Let me move some things around here and then I'll show you what those books are. All right, so here we have the different storybooks. We got Battle at Blacklake, and these just have a quick overview of the story, it looks like, on the back, and then the story that you're going to be living out. So I think this first adventure is kind of like a tutorial, at least to some degree, and then adventure number 2, Taron's Trophy. All right, we've got Outbreak in Undercity, Eye of Eulos. This is a little bit thicker. All right, Adventure 5, Crack and Kolbach. 6, Bogroot Demon. 7, Ghost Eaters of the Forgotten Forest. And then Dungeons of the Sunken City. Gurlung Colossus, Adventure 9. Aboue the Dreaming Sea, Adventure 10. Gate of the Brazoor Wall, Adventure Finale. Oh, and this one is significantly thicker here. Ooh, nice art, as always, in my opinion. So, yeah. And then we've got the rule book. And let's see. Side Quest 1, Death Match at the Coliseum of Ashes. That looks interesting. And then these, I think, are the maps. So, see, this is the map. Let's scoot this over a little bit. This is the map for Adventure 1, Battle at Blacklake. And we won't go through all of them, but here we see a map for Taron's Trophy. And then, so those will just fit in with the books. And there's several here. So this is the map probably for Adventure 3 and 4. And let's see, accessories and upgrades, just a catalog from Thunderworks. And this looks like it's for, here's 5 and 6, it looks like, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. And then the finale. Finale might be dual-sided, perhaps. Oh, this is the side quest, Death Match. All right. So, very cool. And there you have it. That is Role Player Adventures, and this is one I'm very excited to play. Kind of hoping that I might be able to talk my wife into a round of it tonight after I get all this organized and sorted and put back in the box. Very much looking forward to trying this one out. So hopefully you enjoyed this unboxing of Role Player Adventures. If it was interesting for you, I'd love it if you'd click on that thumbs up down below to show me that you liked it. And it would be terrific if you'd subscribe to the channel. If you have questions that you want to ask so that I could answer later after I've had a chance to play, or if you have this and have already started to play it, leave some comments down below to let me know what I have to look forward to. As always, thanks for watching. This is Billy, Indiana, signing off.